dust. Money ain't to us. Broski went and you better fix her up. I just bought a crib to a chick, she got the biggest. And when I saw your sister at with the fishing hook, listen up, I've had to hit the cup. So if I swing my fist, you going in, so wish me luck. Boy, if you ain't talking paper, I'm a I tell Shorty spin around and watch it. Every time I hit the stage, I make it. Yeah. I just pull up to the crib and then I'm right back on that. Been starts up, I ain't coming home with a full. All you rappers still washed up, I don't push weight, I just pull chips. She ain't pulling the socks up, when it's half time she get full. Finna leave the boxed up like send it, make a play and I exit. Money boy making London money, spent most of my life on the M6. Yeah, get rich or die trying, no let. Been out here for like 8 years, come from Volkswagen to Bentley's, little bushy run up cash, double back. Baby, show me what your mama made and make that. Yeah, made that. You got such a pretty face, but I want. Tell her I'm ready, the check coming heavy. I bought them made busy, no this ain't a Chevy. The king of my city, can't nobody check me. They know where I'm at if they coming to get me. I've been in the pocket like keys in a wallet. If you think you got it, then pull up and bet me. I'm keeping it solid and just being honest. You ain't gotta like me, but gotta respect me, make it. Boy, if you ain't talking paper, I'm a I tell Shorty spin around and watch it. Every time I hit the stage, I make it. Yeah, I just pull up to the crib and then I Boy, if you ain't talking paper, I'm a I tell Shorty spin around and watch it. Every time I hit the stage, I make it. Yeah, I just pull up to the crib and then I
What defines my name? What defines my name? NAS. What defines my name? NAS. What defines my name?
Name existed forever, means victory, helper. Whole name means protector, shortened it by 2 letters, without the IR at the end. The reincarnated Gil Scott, living in the again. The World Cup in Moscow, with a blonde who's a 10. Pen when I speak is like a lottery win. Quote my total, multi-mogul, so fly out to walk in any spot, every be soaking from a time when was stronger. Today's streets are calmer. They used to kill for shade sneaks and bombers. My name existed forever before Christians came in America, even better. With click sounds in their mouths was language for humans. With stick figures and K's, my name's written fluid. Nasty like way before even Rome had a sewage. For 50,000 years ago, if I could choose its origin, since there's nothing to gain by assuming I'ma say the definition of my name, the truest. I shocked them like real prop. Creep with baddies in sequence, dresses with high strung. Fresh off the jet, you can see my vision where I've come. How much time y'all got? Yo, Preem, let's drop something.
What defines my name? What defines my name? NAS. What defines my name? NAS. What defines my name?
DNA of King James, kin of St. Michael. Polygamous minded, 7 wives on ridiculous timing. They always share the same title. That be the talk. That's foul like a stop in Frisk, New York. At 20, I said I better quit by 30 than by 30. I thought by 40 rapping is corny. How wrong was I? Never would have thought that 50 new songs by Nas would be hard to lie. I leave them scared like when they hear their name called, but ain't nobody there. The definition of my name probably started where I rode the E-train, fingers covered in ink stains. Writing was like an escape excited, leave the beat flame. It was Rod Kane, Coogee, and Chris. Few names like Cool James, Face Cube, and Rick. That was musically sick, successful and unnatural. I throw they songs in a cyanide capsule. The truth is poison to any fraud. Demigod, rocking suits and shoes, going against any odds. How could you hate me? I survived the 80s, the D's, the trauma, embalming fluid and lace. Inhale fumes from a stove up. The show's booked up. I chose to take the world over. Look up.
What defines my name? What defines my name? NAS. What defines my name? NAS. What defines my name?
Hey yo, 30 years later, Illmatic was dropped. Yeah, man, what the am I doing?
Hey yo, Preem, chill. I got the rhymes, you got the beats.
Alright.
30 years later, we back in the streets, we back in the lab.
Alright.
It's album time. Yeah.
Time.
It's time. Black is time.
Pow. Premiere album still gonna happen.
'Just a little ways east from the nation's political arena, we're in a much different type of arena here, Northwest Stadium in Landover, Maryland. Today, we're ready for an entertaining battle between the Las Vegas Raiders and the Washington Commanders. We've got ourselves a fight in this one to get back above 500. Week 3 is underway. This return starts at the 5. He's brought down at what looks like the 24-yard line. So their offense out now to get this game started. It's 1st and 10. Rodgers throwing to start it off. Looking deep to open the game. He's got it inside the 25. And that is a touchdown. The Raiders take a 6-0 lead right away. One snap in, and this offense as efficient as they could be, partner, and looking very dangerous to begin this ball game too.
Yeah, you know, it's one thing for coaches to tell us in our production meetings they want to be a quick strike offense, got to be explosive. But they put that talk into action. One play from scrimmage, one touchdown, and one massive statement sent across the field.
That one right down the middle. And the Raiders will jump out to a 7-0 lead. Bass now to kick this away. And this is going to bounce out of the end zone, so they will set up shop at the 35. Commanders starting out in a good spot here as they get set. 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing. His first throw is an interception. And he's going to score on the pick 6. Touchdown, Las Vegas. So now it's 13-zip, Brock, and they've got to be even happier knowing that multiple phases of their game contributing to this lead early on.
Yeah, I'm going to guess the defense probably not going to keep up with the offensive scoring touchdown for touchdown, but you can't script a better start.
Bass gets the extra point to go. And the Raiders drive out to an early 14-0 lead. A quick chance at redemption after that pick 6 as it's sent away. Center return, Nyheim Hines. Good work so far, he's got room.
And he goes out of bounds to hand them excellent field position up across the 40.
When you get contributions like that out of your kickoff returner, it is such a boost to an offense. This is about showing no fear, hitting the lane hard, a determined run back, and setting your offense up with great field position.
Back to the air following the pick six. That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact. Ball and defender arrived at the exact same time there. So it'll be second down. Setting up a throw. A throw right side, caught by Njoku. And he's across midfield with a gain that sets him up for third and very short. Pass play now. This one's caught. Smith has it. And he'll have it down to the 44-yard line. Offense up to the line fast. Throwing it again here. Has him on the quick hitter. He's still going at the 30. And he's got his guys into the red zone before someone can force him out. How about 29 yards on that play, partner, as they get the chains reset?
Good offenses. Okay, good play callers know how to utilize their personnel. They know where they wanted them. They wanted them in a route in space where he could make that initial play comfortably, but then go to work after.
Working inside the red zone. Short pass brought in. And he's going to be dropped with a big hit at the end of that. But the effort still sets him up with a first and goal.
Nice to see that connection, that chemistry working between the two of them.
They'll break the huddle and come up on first and goal. They'll run with Kamara. And he pushed for it, but they managed to stop him at the 2. Moving quickly, trying to get set again. They're going to pass on second and goal. And be caught by his back, Kamara. And he's brought down real close to that goal line at the 1. Third down from the gun. Has it in close. And he's in for the Washington touchdown. The Commanders lower the deficit to a single possession. It's a Devontae Smith touchdown. Well, great work there, Brock. They weathered the storm, and now they've gotten themselves right back into this ball game.
Anybody who's played this game has been here before. The game doesn't start the way you want. You're in a big hole, and all you can do is climb out of it. And the words of Pete Carroll resonate. It's not how you start, it's how you finish.
And just like that, we're back to a one-possession ball game as the kickoff is away. Has this at the 6. Showing a little burst so far. And an excellent effort there sets him up almost at midfield.
When you get contributions like that out of your kickoff returner, it is such a boost to an offense. This is about showing no fear, hitting the lane hard, a determined run back, and setting your offense up with great field position.
And he takes it up and across midfield to Commanders territory.
Well, that's a modest little drag route, but if you ever just need a safe, short gain on a throw, that's a go-to route to target.
Receiver in motion, headed right. Play action with Rodgers. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop him. And they come through the sack to bring around third down.
I love a good bootleg just like every other quarterback does. And bootlegs are most effective, Kate, when you're running it first and you deceive that defense. But if you're not running it, or it's a poor fake, or you got a defense that is sound, or you have the opportunity to get hit in the face in less than 2 seconds, just like that.
Taking a big shot for the end zone. Oh my, it's intercepted in the end zone. Picked off by Derek Stingley Jr. And the Commanders are gonna have it after his second interception of the season. Offense into the shotgun set as they line this up. First and 10. They're going to start on the ground with Kamara. Some good running here as he gets him 7 on that first down carry. Working quickly here. From the 25 on second down. Thrown for his running back, but he comes up empty, incomplete, and now they're facing third down. Comes up empty on that one. So now they have third and short. Back to throw. It's another first half mistake. He's intercepted again. Rayshawn Jenkins makes the play.
I think they were going to be grateful just to get the ball back, but now look at where they're getting it, Kate. This is already inside field goal range. I promise you this, they're going to be disappointed if they don't get at least 3 points off that takeaway.
Now here's DeAndre Swift on the ground. And he gets up for a gain of about 4.
That is simply a stay-on-schedule kind of run. Nothing more, nothing less, just right on schedule.
Here's Swift on second down. He's going to take this down to the 11-yard line. It's a gain of 11 there, and that picks up the first.
Hey, look, any run of this size is going to wound the defense. But you get this game going right up the heart of their defense, you start to break their will and break their pride.
Flush down now to his left. Almost had 6, but can't find him in the end zone. Incomplete. That throw doesn't lead to 6. So that brings up second down. Rodgers set to pass. They set up the screen here to Swift. And this one's stopped at the 3-yard line.
Well, this is the type of game we've come to expect from him as a runner, toting the ball, but he's just as adept at turning the screen into the same kind of yardage, too.
All plays on the table here for 3rd and 3. They send the tight end in motion left. Now Rodgers on 3rd and short. And that one's incomplete. For now, he brings up 4th. Let's see what this penalty flag is all about. So it seems like either way they were getting a 4th down here, but this way cost them some extra yardage too.
Hey, I get you want to avoid a possible turnover by forcing it down the field, but it's really hard to find a scenario where 10 yards and a loss of downs is the better outcome. You know, you look at that 3rd down play, looking back, and it really turns into a 3-point play. It's why situational work is so critical. Coaches talk about it all the time. Sure, you love the field goal, but man, they would have loved a touchdown more.
Bass now to kick this away. And he just sends this out and over the end zone, so no threat of a return. They're going to spot the ball up at the 35 to begin this drive. Commanders starting out in a good spot here as they get set. 1st and 10. Interception last drive doesn't deter them. They're going right back to the air. And no gain after the catch, but the gain's still out across midfield. They're to the 45. They get 20 yards out of the play and move the chains. A dose of the hurry-up offense here. First and 10, looking to throw. Hits his running back. He's still going at the 30. Down to the 10. And no touchdown here. He just needed a few more, but this one goes out at the 3. They rip off a big chunk of field, and it sets them up with 1st and goal.
I think one of my favorite adjectives, I don't know why, it just sounds good off the lips, is shred. Shredding paper. Shredding the slopes. Or dude shredding a defense just like that.
Offense in the hurry up here. Second and goal, they're gonna throw. And he just got it away before the hit, but the pass winds up incomplete. It's gonna be 3rd down. Now they'll throw out of the gun. Finds a man underneath. It's Kamara. Touchdown, Washington. the Commanders reduce the lead to just 4. Alvin Kamara, the touchdown. Seibert's able to connect on that extra point. And the Commanders cut it to a field goal game. Volley set up and it's away. Just a 3-point game now. And he'll take a knee in the end zone for... touchback. A good starting spot for the Raiders as they come up 1st and 10. Now here's Rodgers, taking a deep shot here. This is brought in at the 15. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown! The Raiders stretch their early lead to 9. Rodgers has his guys set, looking to tack on 2 to that touchdown. So early movement from the backfield, Brock. They jumped the gun a bit, and that brings out the flag. So tough to stay set when you've got defenders doing everything they can to make you jump, and, well, they got one of them to move that time. Extra distance, no problem for him as his kick is good. Bass now to kick this away. And that one bounces through the end zone for a touchback. Commanders starting out in a good spot here as they get set. 1st and 10. Throwing it to start this drive. Pass complete to Walker. And he's going to be brought down at the 42. Offense up to the line fast. 2nd and 3. He almost threw another one. Back-to-back throws now that should have been picked off, partner, as he continues making risky decisions with the football. Lucky to still have this football, Brock. Now let's see if they can come through on 3rd down. Looking for a throw here. It's caught. Pearsall has it. And this one's brought to an end well downfield from that line of scrimmage. Moving quickly, trying to get set again. They are throwing it again. That winds up incomplete and brings an end to our opening quarter. That's the end of one here. It's an early lead for the Raiders. We're back to Northwest Stadium right after this. Time now for the second quarter. Commanders in possession. They still have 10 to go here. It's 2nd down. He'll throw it yet again. He'll dump this one off to his running back, complete. And he's down inside the red zone before hitting the deck. Big gain, 14 on the play. And the Commanders will have a first.
Year after year, the best offenses are multifaceted. It's not just the receivers or the tight ends that can make plays through the air. When you get running backs that can attack the middle of the field like that, man, is it difficult on the defense.
And his progress is soft, but a nice 5-yard gain before it was.
It's got to be so demoralizing as a defense when you go up against a running back who just keeps those legs churning like a piston in an engine, and that effort's contagious. This entire offense is getting a boost when he busts those tackles.
And he will not score, but that does set him up, Brock, with 1st and goal, less than a yard away from the end zone. Kamara can't reach the end zone. He is stopped, and we've got a penalty flag down as well. Easy call for the officials there. He was offsides at the snap, and that's going to cost him. This offense in position now. It's 1st and goal. trying to do it himself. And he runs it across. Touchdown! The Commanders face a 4-point deficit. The fact that they pulled that out on a 1st and goal, Brock, didn't wait for a later down. Gotta imagine that played a part in its success, don't you?
Yeah, I don't think there's any question about it. It sure did, and I would have loved to seen those eyes in the huddle, right? When you call QB sneak and you look at those guys in the huddle, the big guys in particular, many times they will tell you with their body language, we're ready to go, and that group certainly was.
Coverage team gets him down at the 26-yard line. Raiders just about ready for this one. It's 1st and 10. Rodgers here off the play action. He'll just huck this one into row C, and some lucky fan is going to haul in a heck of a souvenir. Still 10 to go. 2nd down now from the 26. To throw is Rodgers. We've got a screen to the running back. That screen sniffed out quickly, shut down behind the line. Gotta figure out this 3rd down here. Rodgers here from the gun. And he's there to knock away the pass and force a 4th down.
So far, this script, well, it's dictated some early looks for this running back, and now you're seeing the adjustment defensively. Not so easy on those checkdowns. Nowhere for that ball to go.
Throwing once again, Rodgers. He put everything he had into this one. And that's going to wind up incomplete as their gamble doesn't pay off. They're going to turn this one over on downs. All right, working from the gun to start. 1st and 10. They run it from the gun with Kamara. Well, a lot of effort there, partner, but no results. He fought through that one stop, but only managed to get back to the line of scrimmage. Here we go, 2nd and 9. Throw caught at the 6. And he's taken down as they very quickly get into 1st and goal. Working quickly here. Working inside the red zone. The shot to the end zone is incomplete. Targets have far less room to work in this red zone, Brock, but down this close as a former quarterback, I'm just going to assume you gotta feel like he should have been able to hold on through whatever.
Yeah, and every once in a while you get in that huddle and you remind him, now listen guys, it's going to be contested. We know it's a physical game, all 100 yards up and into the red zone and end zone. But when you get down here,
And they will score! Touchdown, Washington! The Commanders take a 2nd quarter lead. Well, we all know that he's somebody they like to have working down near the end zone, Brock, and there is so many ways they know how to use him down there.
Now, things are constantly different down there when you're trying to defend him, which is what makes defending him so tough, borderline impossible at times. He can make the smallest little tweaks to his route just like a receiver would, and it's a totally different animal, a nightmare for these defenses.
Hardman with a return. He stopped on the run back at the 27. The Las Vegas offense is set. 1st and 10. Man in motion here. Here's Swift to start the drive. Now this drive's quickly headed in the wrong direction. First play set down behind the line.
I know from the position of the quarterback, Kate, sometimes you hand that ball, you put it in the belly of the running back, and you send him right into the teeth of a buzzsaw. You can feel it from the jump, and that call from the defense, well, it came at the perfect time.
An all-around tough play for him. He took a shot on the release, and it definitely affected the throw. It's incomplete. Last pass unsuccessful, and they have 3rd down here. Off the play fake, here's Rodgers. Flushed out of the pocket. And that one's incomplete. For now, he brings up fourth. Let's see what this penalty flag is all about. So the offense was right to be walking backwards. The flag does go against them. The task gets tougher as they set up on fourth down. They'll go for it. Rodgers. Caught. Nice gain left side. And unsurprisingly, Brock, he's not going to get the first here. Still failing to see the thinking behind that one as they turn it over on downs.
Hey, I am all for aggression. You get 4 downs, go for it. But I do have to wonder here, Kate, after being denied once again, is there going to be a trust level on that sidelines to go for it the next time they get this shot?
And he's able to manage a couple on that run.
I don't think that's the amount that they were looking for there, Kate. Going to lead to some shuffling around here in the playbook. Find a more aggressive call on second.
From the 34. Connects on the crosser. And he's got his guys into the red zone before someone can force him out. A new set of downs forthcoming. It's 1st and 10. From the red zone now. And that is caught. It's a Washington touchdown. The Commanders now lead. Now we'll pause. The officials want to take a good look at this and confirm it was indeed a touchdown. And that, Brock, I know you're keeping track, but just in case our audience isn't, his 4th first-half passing touchdown. At the pace he's on, this would be a new record if he has a second half to match this one. That one splits the uprights. And the Commanders drive their lead to 11. It's all lined up. Seibert now ready to send this flying. Hardman with a return. And in the end, he's able to get it to what used to be. Touchback. It's at the 25-yard line. Offense to the line. They're going to have trips right to start out. First throw for the backup now. Has him on the quick hitter. And he'll get it up to the 27. A dose of the hurry-up offense here. From the 27. And again, an interception is dropped. Looked a whole lot like the last play, didn't it, partner? And again, the turnover escapes him. It's going to be 3rd down. To throw, here's Locke. Escapes the pocket. And they're going to have it all the way down near the 25.
Well, the field opened up, and he simply takes off. Even in today's NFL, where dual threat quarterbacks are everywhere, it's not often a guy can rip off a run like that.
Dialing up a receiver screen. And they've got him down near the red zone at the 22.
You know what I love to say? You never go broke taking a profit, and you often gain profits when you use your eyes as a quarterback. Those hitch routes, those underneath throws, oftentimes it's the eyes of the quarterback looking downfield and then taking that short completion.
We've hit the 2-minute warning now from the nation's capital. It's the Raiders facing 2nd and 5. Throwing is Locke. Finds him over the middle. And he's going to be taken down near the 8-yard line. 14 yards on a nice play there, and it gives him 1st and goal.
Sure seems like he knew exactly what he wanted, and he got it, going right where he wanted to with the ball off the snap.
4 downs now to get in. Here's 1st and goal. Here's Locke to the air. And this time they're going to get to him before he can get that pass away as he goes down. And it's step 1 towards a goal line stand. Still going to need a couple more, though. 2nd and goal coming up. Locke looking to throw. On the move, headed right. ball's incomplete, but was there a reason for it? We see a flag out there. So the defense decides to decline the penalty. Couldn't get it the last two snaps. Another shot at 6 here on 3rd and goal. Lock. And it's incomplete on 3rd and goal. Thought he had a touchdown there. So now they're left with 4th and goal. Tyler Bass on now for the field goal try. A pretty automatic look for him from the left. Bass's kick is good. And that brings the deficit back within a score, 8 points.
Hey, facing a deficit that's going to follow you into halftime in that locker room, they will welcome those 3 points and a little bit of feel-good momentum.
That lead cut down to 8 after that score, and the kick is away. Here's a return from the 7. And he's brought down just inside the 25. First call here coming from the shotgun. Throwing with a blitz on the way. On target here to Njoku. And this is going to take him up and across midfield there at the opposing 45. That's a good-looking play by the Notre Dame rookie. Gets him a first down. Offense in the hurry-up here. And now the Raiders call for the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 left to work with before halftime. Ball on the 45, 1st and 10. Shotgun snap, looking to throw. That'll be caught by his back, Kamara. And he's got a decent gain before being brought down. Now we're going to get an offensive timeout, so that's their first. They'll have 2 left to work with before halftime. Halfway to the marker, it's 2nd and 5. Dropping back to throw. Pressure comes and he's taken down. The Raiders got him. Washington calls it 2nd timeout. And they still have 1 in their pocket for what's left of this half. This offense looking to convert as they come up on 3rd down. Now looking to throw. He finds Njoku complete. And some excellent work on this play. It takes him a while to get to him downfield. Now a timeout taken by the offense, and we're going to see if they try for 2 plays here or just try the field goal right now. They'll come up 1st and 10. He's dropping back to throw. Buys time, rolling right. And they will score. Touchdown, Washington. The Commanders will add to their lead at the end of the half. Manage that clock beautifully down to the final moments, Brock, and they get the score just before halftime.
That doesn't change the theme of the halftime speech, but I guarantee you it adds some enthusiasm to the tone. That was awesome.
Seibert tacks on the point after. And the Commanders lead by 15 now. for maybe a return plus a play here as they send this away. Power squib kick is taken in. The tackle's made, so this drive will begin at the 34-yard line. Here comes the final play of our first half. Throwing here just before halftime. Gets everything he has under this throw. That one's incomplete over the middle. So that's the halfway point of this edition of the NFL on EA Sports. Brock and I will be back right after this. Shades of the 2009 Super Bowl. They're going onside kick to begin the second half. And the Commanders are able to cover the kick. Into the red zone. Touchdown, Washington. The Commanders stretch their lead to a 3-score advantage. It's a Devontae Smith touchdown. Seibert now to add the extra point. The point after splits the uprights. And the Commanders grow the lead now to 22 points. After watching one kick get taken back, partner, let's see how well they can replicate it as this one's away. Hardman with a return. Things going well so far. And great starting field position here as they bring him down beyond the 40.
When you get contributions like that out of your kickoff returner, it is such a boost to an offense. This is about showing no fear, hitting the lane hard, a determined run back, and setting your offense up with great field position.
Here's Locke. Connecting with his back here, Swift. Now he's past the 25. And this is going to make it down to the 6. That's going to set him up with 1st and goal.
You know, Kay, we often talk about flipping the field in special teams, right? A kick return, a good punt. Well, an explosive play like that does the exact same thing. Look at the difference in field position. By hitting on that shot, you've totally flipped the field and the tone of this drive.
And he'll go down shy of the end zone. They mark him at the 4.
He's just one of those guys, Kate. Even when he's not open, he's still a target thanks to that physicality and his ability to just play bully ball. They don't like forcing into coverage, but sometimes when you got a bull...
He has the touchdown! The Raiders cut into the lead coming out of halftime. Not a lot of processing time from the moment he pulled it back to the moment he made that throw, Brock, but I think we can all agree he made the right choice not to hand it off, and then the right read on that throw.
Yeah, he sure did, Kate. It kind of reminds me of the option quarterbacks of our day growing up, right? Those guys that made that pitch, and it was just second nature. They were on the run, guys all around, didn't matter. He's going to put that pitch right on them. The great RPO quarterbacks of today do exactly the same thing with their throws.
And he mishit this one badly. It's out of bounds short of the 40, and they're going to take over at that spot. First and 10 from the 41. Throwing now from the gun. Short pass brought in. And he'll be taken down, but not until he reaches that 45-yard line. Offense up to the line fast. Pass play on first and 10. This one's out to Pearsall on the left side. And they get this down roughly to the 34-yard line. Moving quickly, trying to get set again. Throwing from the gun. Completed over the middle. And he's in for the Washington touchdown. The Commanders make it a 3-possession game. It's a Devontae Smith touchdown, his second scoring catch of the game. That is his 6th passing score of the game. A lot of quarterbacks could go several weeks without throwing that many touchdowns. And now, keep in mind, he's only one off the NFL record of 7 in a single game. Seibert's able to connect on that extra point. And the Commanders stretch the lead to 23. It's all lined up. Seibert now ready to send this flying. And it looks like he's going to opt not to bring this one out, so they're going to enjoy some good starting field position from the 35. A good starting spot for the Raiders as they come up 1st and 10. They're going play action. Buying some time left. Ooh, he got hit as he was throwing, and unsurprisingly, it falls incomplete. 2nd down coming up.
That's what I call complimentary defense right there. That pressure by the group up front, that leads to the incompletion and to the benefit of that secondary.
Caught for big yards on the right side. Again, he's got room. And he's in. Touchdown. The Raiders shrinking the lead some in the 3rd. I love plays like this, Brock. Sometimes you just gotta ask your dude, show me what you got, man. Show off those wheels, and he did just that.
Yeah, beauty in simplicity, right?
Yep.
Now, when you run that fly route, you gotta win right from the jump. And you gotta protect yourself from the sideline, too. Don't get pushed to the boundary. Give your quarterback room to throw it up, and you can find pay dirt.
Trying for it on the ground. And he reaches the end zone on that 2-point try, Brock. This is going to cut it to a 2-score game now. Down 15. Bass now to kick this away. Fielded at the 7. All right, and in the end, Brock, this is going to make it out to the 30. To the line now, Brock. Here comes 1st and 10. Shotgun snap. They're going to throw. He completes it in traffic. And he's going to get a few here. Brock down at the 33-yard line. Second and 6 now. Complete to Pearsall. And he's going to be driven out by a defender just before he can get it up to midfield. 16 yards on the play. And that'll be good for a Washington first.
They like to say it's about the Jimmies and the Joes. I think that's about the X's and the O's. That's a well-drawn-up completion that nets them a 1st down.
To throw here on 1st down. Finds him on the crossing route. And they're going to keep moving forward, Brock, down inside the opposing 30. It's a gain of 22. And the Commanders will have a first. Working quickly here. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose. Incomplete. You go middle of the field against zone coverage, Brock. You know this firsthand. You are throwing into rush hour. And there aren't a lot of easy completions to be found in that part of the field.
Yeah, and a lot of those throws, Kate, you're signing your guy up to take some sort of hit. It's on you to protect your guys. Credit that defense for flying around and making the play.
A dose of the hurry-up offense here. Working inside the red zone. Caught just shy of the goal line. And he's in for the Washington touchdown. The Commanders stretch their lead to a 3-score advantage. From Sid Luckman in 1943 to Drew Brees in 2015, we've had 8 quarterbacks throw 7 touchdowns in one game, and now we have a 9th who's accomplished that feat as his dominance over this defense continues. It's all lined up. Seibert now ready to send this flight. Returning it from the 4. Nice effort here. They're going to tackle him just shy of the 35. Here's 1st and 10 from the 34. Shotgun snap, looking to throw. He fires one deep down the middle. And they can't connect on the deep look. Still a couple of snaps to play with, though, here. We've got 2nd down.
Well, that's not the uniform you want to see almost bringing it in. They are so fortunate to have another shot down here after the near pick.
Almost a very quick drive, but the drop pick gives him new life. This is 2nd down. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop him. And that pushes them back. 3rd down coming up.
It's double-edged sword. I totally understand. These quarterbacks today are so athletic, and they love to keep plays alive, but it can turn smaller losses into much bigger setbacks like we see yet again.
3rd and long for him here. He's got time here. Connects on the crosser. And somebody finally able to force him out there. So even with that quality gain, it will still wind up being 4th down.
How many times, Kate, do we see those routes, those horizontal east-to-west routes, just get that 1st down on these critical 3rd down situations? It takes tremendous eyes, tremendous speed, and a tremendous want-to by the defense to stop that short.
Going for this. And he had it, but no, can't complete the process of the catch, and they wind up turning it over on downs. 1st and 10 from the 41. Airing it out to start this drive. Fits it through the middle. And he will not get any further, but plenty of progress already.
Just about every offense since the beginning of time, since the forward pass, Kate, has loved a tight end that could stretch the middle of the field. Man, I remember as a kid watching Kellen Winslow Sr. dice up right here between the hashes, and what a difference it can make for an offense.
And that is caught. It's a Washington touchdown. The Commanders keeping the pedal floored and adding 6 more. It's a Devontae Smith touchdown. His 3rd through the air this game. Well, with that score right there, Brock, he has reached one of the pinnacles of playing quarterback here in the NFL. The most touchdown passes in a single game.
And I can promise you, after this game, he's going to do... I remember Peyton and Marvin having a back and forth after breaking a record. Neither of them wanted the ball because they knew it took all of them. And I promise you, after the game at the podium, he'll say the same thing today. It's his name in the record book, but this is an offensive explosion for a day.
Starting from the 5. Coverage team gets him down at the 26-yard line. Now we're going to get an offensive timeout. That's their first. Raiders just about ready for this one. It's 1st and 10. Lock to throw it. He lobs this one up, looking deep to the right side. Tried to float that one in, and defender's there for the interception. Picked off by Derek Stingley Jr. Starting out with an empty backfield, Brock. Here they come, 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing. Taken in on the right side by Pearsall. And he's going to be sent out of bounds just after he crosses the 35. Give him 15 yards on the pickup there. And that'll be good for a Washington first. Into the air here. Taking the deep shot there on 1st down. Okay, no luck connecting. It's incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 36. They'll try and throw it here. This is complete. Downfield to Smith. And no gain after the catch, but the gain's still out across midfield. They're to the 45. He'll throw it yet again. This is Cox. That's Walker. And he's going to be taken down a yard shy of the 25. Offense in the hurry up here. They are throwing it again. Has it at the 7. And that's a Washington touchdown. The Commanders pick it off and get points on the ensuing drive. Seibert tacks on the point after. And the Commanders grow their lead yet again. It's all lined up. Seibert now ready to send this flying. Here's a return from the 7. And in the end, he's able to get it to about the 25-yard line before he's hauled down. The Las Vegas offense is set. 1st and 10. Interception last drive doesn't deter them. They're going right back to the air. He's loaded another one up. Oh, should have had another one there. Defense getting opportunity after opportunity to pick it off. But 2 in a row now have slipped away. Second and 10 now. He's trying another one deep. Really pushing the envelope on 2nd down, but the deep shot doesn't work.
Kate, this quarterback gets out of the pocket, genuinely a coin toss whether he's going to keep it with his legs or put in the air. Sigh of relief there defensively as that ball falls incomplete.
Connecting with his back here, Swift. And he's short of the first after a mild gain.
You know, I like the completion. You never turn down a completion. That's just not the right throw to make in that spot to move the chains.
All right, looks like this is the moment they're going to make their comeback push. They're going for it on 4th. Here's Locke to the air. Forced out to his right. He's running for it. And this is going to be out of bounds. Defense catches up to him near that 45.
That's one of those occasions when you're sitting in the pocket and you're just looking for that escape valve. And then when you get it, you get space to run, and you get a 1st down. That's a big bonus for the quarterback.
That excitement brings us to the end of the quarter. They'll have a shiny new set of downs to play with to start the 4th. It's Raiders football, but really just counting down the moments at this point. This game's gotten out of hand. Let's see how they attack this 1st down, Brock, from the 43. Locke. Well, the pressure nearly got to him, but still a good play defensively as that one falls incomplete. No luck on 1st down. Here's 2nd and 10. Locke looking to throw. Escapes the pocket. Looking back towards the middle, and that's going to be intercepted. And he makes the house call. It's a touchdown on the pick 6. You get a pick 6, you get a pick 6. These defenses, Brock, wow, they have
What defines my name? NAS. What defines my name? NAS. What defines my name?
Name existed forever, means victory, help. A whole name means protector. Shorten it by 2 letters, without the IR at the end. The reincarnated Gil Scott living in the again. The World Cup in Moscow with a blonde who's a 10.